Hello and welcome. This is our fifth session of the YouScience Parent University. We're going to be covering going over cover letters, resumes, and college essays. This is Dr. Benjamin Lester. I am the Student Services Director for the Cherokee County School District, and I'm joined today again by Dr. Krista Webb. Dr. Webb?
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me, Dr. Lester. Again, I am Krista Webb, and I am the Curriculum Coordinator for Cherokee County for CTAE as well as Social Studies. And today we are at our last session of our YouScience for Parents University. And today we're going to talk about cover letters, resumes, and college essays. Again, I'm going to use my own personal account as an example for you. So again, when you get onto your student's YouScience account, you see that there are two ways you can get to the places you want to visit on your student's account. One is by going through the hamburger, and the other is by clicking on one of the tabs that are on the dashboard that are on the home page. So we're going to start today, and we are going to look at my results from those brain games when I took the brain games. So first of all, I want you to notice up here in the left-hand corner, you have your aptitudes, and that's what we're going to be working with first today. And then just like the college page and just like the career page, you've got a place where you can save some things. And here this is called bookmarks. And as we go through our aptitude results, I'll explain how this bookmarking works. Remember, I told you in the overview initially that everything about YouScience is positive. So you see they tell me here, Krista, you crushed it. You have some serious talent and awesome career opportunities. So everything presented by YouScience is in a very positive light. So let's get started by looking at my talents. And this is the talent wheel. And right here, you see the color that I am hovering over with my cursor. It explains that I am a sequential thinker. I can easily organize ideas. I'm good at fitting steps into a process. I can develop systems that do not exist or make existing systems more efficient. It gives me some description about myself and what it means to be a sequential thinker. Moving on around the talent wheel, this is one for idea generation. I am a brainstormer, and again, it gives me some descriptors. And we can go all the way around the color wheel like that. This is numerical reasoning. I'm a numerical detective. I am a list checker. I am inductive reasoning. I am an investigator. Through spatial visualization, I am a space planner. But notice how some of these colors are larger than others. That's where my strongest aptitudes lie. So I'm not as strong in space planning as I am in sequential thinking. Also notice here we have a tab that says View Career Matches. I can click this and it would take me to that career page that we've already discussed. But what I want to do right now is explore what this really means to be a sequential thinker. So I can click the Explore tab, and it's going to pull up a page that explains about sequential reasoning for me. It tells me I get how it all fits together. The way I mentally organize, I would be called a sequential thinker. And so then there's a little definition here of sequential reasoning, what that means, and then what my results showed. I see the big picture. I can easily organize ideas. I'm good at fitting steps in a process. And so if I like what these sentences are saying about me, I can bookmark them. I can click them and it gives me the little heart. So I'll add that one to my list, and you see the bookmark list jumped up to 5. As you scroll on down, you can see how this impacts my daily life. How does it impact me at work? Well, at work, I can develop systems that don't exist. I can make and give presentations naturally. Well, what if I'm a student? I want to know, what does this mean at school? So at school, it means paper writing and time management is going to be easier for me than for most people. Teachers may expect me to show my work, even if I don't think that's a necessary thing to do. I may perform well in classes where I have to present to the class. These are my strengths because I am a sequential thinker. And then socially, what does it mean? I know how to make things run efficiently, but group projects, including family, won't always work according to plan. I need to practice patience. So it gives me a little bit of a tip on how to deal with certain situations. Then there's a section that says things you may find. Things that I might find easy for me. Playing games, working on projects, creating PowerPoints, planning or organizing events. These kinds of things always come easy to me. So I want to click on one of those and add it to my bookmark about myself. But then I can also see things that are difficult for me as a sequential thinker. So to quickly communicate, that's a hard thing for me to do. Remembering to spell out each successive step, that's something that I need to perhaps be conscious of and work on. And then as we scroll on down the page, there's tips for success. Things that I can do that can make me successful as a sequential thinker. And then the last part of the page says, how can I see this in others? How can I see sequential thinkers? How can I see process supporters? How can I identify others as collaborative planners? So it gives me a wealth of information about myself in sequential thinking. Now I can scroll either way and see another result of my brain game. This one is inductive reasoning. We call this kind of thinker an investigator, and I get a little bit of an explanation about what does inductive reasoning mean, what my results show. I'm not too quick on the draw when it comes to making decisions, but I'm not too slow and deliberate either. I like to make decisions kind of in a medium type of time frame. How does this impact my life? How does it impact me at work, at school, in a social situation? Things that I might find easy for me because I am in inductive reasoning, or things I might find difficult, and tips for success. And then we can look at inductive reasoning in others. And we can go through every single result of the brain games like this. And you can scroll through here. There is an arrow on this side of the page as well, but because I'm presenting, I can't see that arrow. So that's why I'm running backwards. Or we can go back to the top to explore all, and it's going to take us back where we started on our page. Any questions, Dr. Lester?
Not really a question, maybe a question, but this bookmark feature, as you're going through this, again, I'm thinking that I'm a high school junior or senior preparing to, I know the topic is, again, cover letters, essays, and everything, but I'm thinking this bookmark piece here is where I can start logging some of these statements about my strengths, about areas of growth, that I could really have a brainstorming session with all these bookmarks, notes about my strengths across these areas that I could then kind of reorganize into specifically what a college either entrance essay or applications asking of me. And so I think this is going to be a great tool for kids and families as they start thinking that way, building up these bookmarks to really guide the way they put together some of these essays.
Exactly. And if you're looking example for a summer job and You need to be able to, you've never had a job interview before and you're a little bit nervous. You can review your bookmarks and that will give you some talking points that are very positive about yourself in a job interview. It can be used for many different communication tools.
I see a lot of kids, Dr. Webb, who they struggle with, what is a weakness of yours, an area of growth? Well, this is going to spell out for you, what I love the way they say what may be difficult for you, right? Because you said it's always in a positive light. So I like the way that they bring that up. But again, it's a great tool for students to, especially as you said, applying for jobs in colleges, to identify those areas. Oh, that's an area that might be difficult. That's an area that I could bring up in an interview in a positive way about, this is my growth area. So
exactly. As we scroll on down the page, we see there's personal approach, and I'm not quite sure what this means. So I want to explore. Again, it's going to take me right back to where we were. This time I'm looking at my work approach. I'm a generalist. And so again, I have some results. I have some impacts. It's the same format. As we move back and we continue down the page, I like this part because it talks about how you contribute to a team. And you hover over the dark rectangle and you see that for me, I am an extrovert generalist. And I get a little sentence at the bottom about what that means. Extroverted generalists enjoy gathering and sharing perspectives. They're often excellent at building relationships. Well, what if my results had said I was a blended energizer specialist? As I hover over that square, I understand what that means. Blended specialists enjoy sharing their expertise with an attentive audience. They often make excellent coaches, tour guides, and professors. So for each one, you get a different explanation for your results. As we scroll on down the page, we see there are types of work that might interest me. Social, enterprising, artistic are 3 areas of activities that I might enjoy. And of course, I can click to view my career matches, which we explored in our previous session. It would just take me to that same career match page. At the bottom, there's more brain games to amplify your talents. If you want to participate in more brain games, you can do that. So as we move on, I'm going to scroll back up and I'm going to look at the things that I've bookmarked. And I bookmarked some things for sequential reasoning, the daily impact, something that's easy for me, my overall results, what I recognize in others. So this is something that's a great tool as you begin to work on college essays, or you are preparing for job interview, writing a cover letter, writing a resume that you can use. But I want to go back to my home page, and I want to look at this section, the one section we haven't explored yet, describing you. And when I click here, I find here are some key words I can use to describe me. So as I'm writing a cover letter, or I'm working on a resume, or I'm thinking about an interview, here are some words that I can use that will describe who I am. I'm data-driven strategic thinker. I am a collaborative working person. I analyze numbers. Some different key terms that will help me as I'm writing those letters and those resumes. And then as I scroll on down, I have some statements that I can use because they are not copyrighted, and I can use them about my work approach. So if I'm in an interview and someone says, explain to me your work approach, I might say, it's shared success that pleases me at work. I like to see others succeed as well as myself. And this breaks down sentences for every single aptitude that you have. And these are sentences that you can use as they are, word for word, in cover letters, resumes, college essays, any type of writing you need to do about yourself as you advance out of high school into the post-secondary world. And this, just goes right on down the page, more and more sentences based on your results in your aptitude test. Then there's one more thing that I want to show you. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. And this is the newest feature of YouScience, and it's called Opportunities. And this was just launched this summer. And what this is a page that shows local businesses and industries who are currently hiring or in need of employees. And you can filter this by your aptitudes fit, by your interest fit, and by certifications. For me, let's go by aptitude. We see the first one that shows up just generally is LGE Community Credit Union and Central City Tavern, C.W. Matthews Contracting Company, Rogers Mechanical Contractors. These are all local employers who participate with YouScience and have put their information up so that they can make their availabilities known to students and parents in the community. So if we filter for me by aptitudes fit, we see that Central City Tavern might be a good place for me to find some employment. Rogers Mechanical, Courtyard by Marriott, AmeriPublic Partners. There's a number of different local industries, local businesses who have connected with YouScience and have their information here. Remember, I told you this just launched this past summer. So it's a brand new feature of YouScience and one that we're only going to see grow in the future. Any questions or comments?
Dr. Webb, so I think as a student too, not just applying for colleges or getting ready for job interviews coming out of high school, but I see this as a tool as well. You've mentioned that kids have access 10 years after they graduate. I'm a college student preparing to graduate from college to get ready for job applications and job interviews. I'm going to go back to this and pull some of those same sentences and continue to use this as a resource. So, I mean, do you foresee our students using it that way as well? That
I do, and many companies are interested in YouScience results now, and they may ask you in a job interview, do you have any experience with YouScience? Would you be willing to share your results with me? Or what is your strongest aptitude? Or, any of those questions, because more and more Chamber of Commerce, offices of economic development, governmental agencies, educational agencies, and business and industry are looking to YouScience to find the very best fit for particular jobs and careers with the right individuals.
And you said, Dr. Webb, this is so new. We anticipate this to just continue to grow.
Yes.
And then our local chamber in Cherokee County, they're aware of YouScience as well, correct?
Yes.
You've had conversations with them.
Yes, the chamber is aware, as is Cherokee Office of Economic Development. They have been relying on YouScience results for several years. So it's something that you hear more and more about. If you go to the Georgia Department of Education website under curriculum resources, they'll talk a little bit about YouScience as far as career education goes. So it's a great tool for helping plan your future. Just like every other tool, it's not the end all be all, because we know when we're going to build a house, we need hammers and saws, nails, screwdrivers and screws. You can't do everything with just one tool, but this is certainly a nice tool to have in your toolbox as you're getting ready to prepare for post-secondary life, whether it be post-secondary education or entering into the workforce.
No, I agree. I think it looks to be a valuable resource for the graduates of Cherokee County, the students currently, but as they graduate and matriculate through university, or as you said, if they enter the workforce, it's something they can continue to come back to help guide them during those early 20s, right? As they're trying, as I think we all at some point tried to figure it out. So thank you so much for leading this series and providing this kind of overview of the YouScience program. We're lucky we're able to offer this to our families across the district on demand like this through our YouTube channel. But appreciate you, Dr. Webb, taking the time to walk us through all the different components.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could help. And if anyone has questions, they're more than free to reach out to me via email or phone. I'm happy to talk to you about any questions you might have. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Webb.